Welcome back to Snack Time Garage, guys. On this episode, we're digging back into Alicia's 65 GMC General Step Van. We dug this out of a homestead in Illinois. It had been sitting probably 25, 30 years, not real sure on that. Had a huge maple tree in front of it. We had to wrangle it out around. Once we got it home, I mean Alicia, dug about 6 inches of coon poop out of this thing, got her cleaned out, got her gutted. We eventually got all the factory drivetrain out from underneath it, got the original floors out of it, and that is basically where we're at today. We are standing inside it. And
it's basically a shell.
The last episode, we had said that our goal was to start putting floors in, and that didn't happen, as a lot of our goals don't seem to ever happen. So this episode, we're going to make it as far as we can. That's our goal. So we're not setting a goal, but we're going to basically start right where we left off, and that's with this pocket for the original door. This had a sliding door that went up through there. That's going away, and we're putting a hinge door up there, but that means this part here that sticks out from the original wall has got to go, and all that brace work up there has got to go, that wood and stuff. So to do that, and this is where we stopped the last time, I didn't want to do that without bracing this roof, because if we step back here and look at this, if we take all this structure here out and
all this.
Yeah, and all that, that means that portion of that wall has no support in it, because there is no floors in this bad boy. It's got the kickstands up there with some bracing in it, and then the backside back here is just sitting on jack stands on the bumper. So
I think we even said that if we take all of this, we would have to take that header out too, right?
I might be able to leave the header, I don't know yet. So what she's talking about by the header is this piece right here. This is actually metal. All this paneling here, this is all fiberglass. The whole body in this thing is fiberglass with a metal skeleton. So we're going to be removing this stuff, running this 1.5-inch tubing all the way up to the edge of the door frame. The door frame shape, as of right now, is going to stay the exact same as it is, but have a hinge door instead of a sliding door to get rid of this deep pocket here. So that's where we're at. That's what we're getting on. Appreciate all you guys subscribing and watching and leaving comments. Make sure you do that if you're new to the channel. So let's get after it and start making some more scrap. First step of operation to support this wall was to grab some 2x2 scrap metal. It's about 6 foot long, and I really needed an 8-foot piece, but we got this one tacked up to all the ceiling joists, and then I grabbed another scrap piece of angle iron and added to it so we could catch 2 more joists at the back. Once we got that tacked up and supported, we went ahead and started removing the structure from the passenger wall. Small pieces at a time, as best as we could, fighting all these rivets that we had to remove. Once we got those out, we started to fight the old gas filler neck. I don't know who did the body work before, but look at that. That is all Bondo. It's like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch thick over top of a flange for the, this is the old filler neck for the gas tank.
That's wild.
But they just packed her in there, and there's no point in it. I don't know why.
Just because the ring is rusty?
I don't know what they were doing, but this has got to go away. Part of that inner structure we've been working on, rivets on with it, and so it's holding it on because we can't get in there to grind the back side of the rivets. So we got to do a big patch here anyway. So I was just like, the hell with it, and we'll work on it from outside. But we're getting there. But here's a good representation of shining here on them. That's how small the hole should be for the rivet. And that's probably 3/16. I don't think it's quite 1/4 inch. And here's the holes we're working with. So every one of these, we got to go in and fix and plug up and patch.
That one's probably closer.
Yeah, that one's 3/16, and these are the ones. These ones up here are ones that Alicia ground from the inside and then tapped out. All these down through here have pulled out and broke apart. So before we can put the floor in there, we have to fix every one of those, and then when we make our new holes, we'll probably go between them instead of trying to fasten in our patch.
Oh yeah, that's true. I had thought about that.
Let's see if we can knock this thing out. Go, maybe go tap on it from the inside. I don't know what the answer is. It's starting to move.
What?
It's starting to move.
Hi.
Alright.
This corner's really awkward.
Ow! Chunk of Bondo came off and hit me. That's why they were bondoing it up. The top of it was rusted off.
That's kind of what I figured, but
They just filled that top of it up with Bondo.
that's crazy. And then painted over it 16 times.
Yeah, I don't know who needs to hear this, but that's not body work. That's butchery.
You know what that looks like?
What?
One of those bowls that you put inside a electric oven. Stove.
Oh,
That's what it looks like.
yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
Might be able to grind that a little easier. But you know what we actually
Well,
need is
it's not attached to nothing out here no more. It should go that way.
maybe right here.
No, there's nothing there. The rivet's gone on the outside. So all that framework should be able to go that way. I apologize if you guys are hearing the giant fan over there, but it is hot in here.
Still attached on that rivet. It's pivoting right there.
I'm telling you, the outside of that rivet doesn't exist.
Well, let me
It's
find
just stuck in the fiberglass.
Okay. Well, then you pull on it.
We'll go out there and tap on it or whatever.
That's what I said. I thought you were saying it wouldn't work. There we go.
But that took way freaking longer than it ever should have. And I hope that's not a sign to God on how long it's going to take to get the rest of it. So that little piece right there took, I don't know.
Oh, let's see, what time is it? It's 3:36.
I have no idea what time it's
I think it's been like 2 hours.
Yeah, way too long.
But it feels good to get that pocket grabber out of here.
Yeah,
I don't know how many snags I've gotten on that thing.
right.
The wall seems really bare now. All them rivets, that's what was being held up. It really didn't rip through those rivets very bad.
Let's get the rest of this crap off.
I think those top ones just need ground.
Yeah,
This
you
is
make
all
that sound so simple.
I know. I'm just saying this is all separate from the panel there.
It's attached right here.
It's
somewhere.
attached up there, but we haven't ground the rivets yet. That's separate. We don't want to mess with those. And yeah, it's in there. Okay. Back to grinding.
Every 6 inches of the verticals has a stainless steel rivet in it, and then every 10 inches on the horizontals has the same stainless rivets in it. Every one of those has got to be ground down, preferably from the inside, so we don't take a chance of getting into the fiberglass. And then once that rivet is ground down, we then have to take a sharpened punch and knock them out from the inside out, hoping to not take the fiberglass out with it. Once we got all those rivets done, we then had to separate the former door jamb piece that you can see here that I'm grinding on, and then separate it from that rusty header piece that we previously mentioned. Well, here's where we made it so far. We got this lip off, and we're taking this off because we gotta get this out of the way, because it's only, I don't know what that is, 3/4 of an inch or something. And this wall is gonna be this thick, which is 1.5 inches. So all this has gotta go yet, and then we'll continue on with that 1.5 inches over here. And we had to get her pried loose from this header panel here. Not sure if we'll change that yet or not. I did hack on it a little bit up there, but they just had 3 tack welds tacking it to this angle iron. And when I do it, I'll just run a steady bead down through there. Back when this thing was built, it was built with stick welders. You can tell that by the welds I've been cutting. So they didn't want to run a 1-foot-long vertical with a stick, was my guess. Plus these guys are building this in production, so time was everything. But we're gonna bend. I've got a big press brake, so we'll bend a new piece here that comes in and wraps all the way around, and that'll be our door jamb and all that stuff. And then
But this will be the same 1/2 inch tubing that is in here.
1.5 inches.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, it's real thin right now, and that's actually not tubing. That's 2 pieces of C-channel overlapping each other.
The square tubing that we got.
Yeah. So what'd you do with this piece? This is the only one of these we have that's solid, and I'll have to remake all the rest or repair them. I don't know what way we'll go with that yet. Like this one here has got rust holes in it right there, so I don't know if I'll get these off and weld that up. And yeah, that one down there is completely gone. So there's quite a few of these that we'll have to make a repair. I don't know what way is going to be the best way to go about that. I have not been able to find any close to this online. They do sell rub rails for semi-trailers and stuff, but if anybody knows of an outlet that might have one of those, let me know. We even found some for boats, but they weren't, they were stainless and high dollar.
Square too.
Yeah,
I didn't have that taper.
Yeah, I mean, the taper looks cool, but if I could find something that just went right in its place that was a slightly different, I'd probably just run with it, because that's going to be,
yeah, for sure.
That's going to be very time consuming. But we are going to take a early lunch, or early dinner, not lunch.
Early dinner.
Yeah, we didn't even have lunch. I guess we had breakfast for lunch. But anyway, we're going to go rejuvenate our fat cells. Unfortunately and fortunately for us, we have a Mexican restaurant across the street from the shop, so it's a double-edged sword. So
it's kind of a bittersweet.
Yeah, like they torture you with their food because their food's amazing. But anyway, I'll quit rambling. Let's go rejuvenate our fat cells, and then we'll come back and we'll get this piece out.
Is that the last piece?
Well, this has all got to go.
But that's all separate.
That's the stuff we're going to have to drill.
Oh.
So this has got these rivets. Right here's one of them that are blind. We can't get to the back of that to grind it off. There's one here and there's one there. These have all had the back sides ground off. These I'm going to have to drill from the outside out here and get rid of them to be able to get the rest of that structure off. So that'll be where we start next.
I tried my hand at using this grinder on these rivets on that edge piece there. Eric told me to stay out of the fiberglass, and I just really don't like the grinder and don't really feel overly confident, so I was not staying out of the fiberglass enough, so I decided to stop and take a break and ended up helping Eric while he drilled out these rivets on the sidewall. And then once we were able to get all of those rivets out of there, he then came down and helped me finish with that edge piece so that we didn't grind out too much of the fiberglass.
Finally.
I highly hate that door.
That's, I know on time lapse that looks like it just happened, but what a pain in the butt.
Massively.
We're finally ready to start putting iron back in, or almost. So I gotta, this down leg was rotten. I'm gonna try to find something that'll sleeve that, but I went ahead and cut this one that high. It didn't need it, but there's a bullet hole right there. We gotta grind all that out and fix that. There's a bullet hole. Where's the other one? There's another one down here somewhere, right there. We got to get that one fixed too. That one's not in the way of our metal work. That one definitely is though. So I'm gonna get up there. I gotta get rid of that last little piece of tubing up there so that our 1.5 inch tubing can go in there. We'll make our new door jamb come down, and if nothing else, I guess I'll probably actually work on getting this crap here out of the way.
You already cut this, right? This,
Yeah,
this
we need to
one's
do the
separate.
rivets on the outside of that one and that one. I forgot about that. So we get those drilled, knocked off, and then we can start fixing these holes all down through there. Well, this one doesn't have near as much because I've had that pocket. Start fixing all these holes, and then we're ready to put down legs, and we can actually do this center section of floor at that point.
And maybe this is just my brain being tired, but how do we know where we're gonna put this angle iron if we're not putting it where the repair is? How do we know where, are we putting it in the same spot and drilling between them? Is it
Yeah.
lowering? Because
No.
we don't know where the frame is.
We're going to do the exact same thing as it was,
Yeah.
and just put our new holes between those. And we don't have our rivets yet, so we can't drill our holes yet. But we can build the structure and make it sit on this stuff, and it'll go all the way to the roof, so it will hold its weight. Just this will be floppy at the bottom until we get our new rivets. We can drill one of them and put a bolt or something in it just to hold it so it's not floppy, but
It'll be suspended by the walls, the structure in the walls. essentially.
yeah, it'll be suspended by all this steel structure.
But you're saying, because we talked about it being a little higher or a little lower on the frame.
I'm going to do the exact same thing and go back the way it was so we don't run into anything.
Okay. You change your plans a lot, so I was just trying to click.
Not my plans, it's your plans. No, I'm not saying I don't change them, but they're your plans and I'm changing them.
Well, yeah, we've talked about 17 different things, so I
Yeah.
was just making sure we were on the.
As of right now, I'm saying we're going to put it back in the exact same spot and not try to reinvent the wheel so much.
Okay.
Like I said, I got.
Here.
Well,
not
I'm
tack
gonna
weld,
I'm gonna try to find something to go in that and sleeve that. Anytime you put a butt piece together like that,
Yeah.
that especially on anything that's structural, you need to sleeve it, put something inside there
Right.
so that it's not a shear point as easy.
Yeah.
So, but we can at least do this one and run it down. I'll probably run that one all the way to the floor, then our angle iron will butt into it. And we can weld that angle iron into our uprights at that point. So,
Yeah.
but, and we're going to go ahead and do this floor solid in here with all of our cross members. But as of right now, we're thinking about doing a sunken floor in this area for our shower,
Here somewhere.
somewhere in here. So a lot of that's liable to get cut out and redone, which isn't a big deal. So,
It'll just feel good to actually get a floor in here.
yeah. I think we'll go ahead and get these pieces knocked out. I won't worry about recording that. You guys have seen us fight rusty metal enough. And then we're going to go ahead and get the rest of this crap out.
You're talking this piece, this structure, and this?
Yeah, we'll get all this crap in the
not
corner.
this.
I'll have to evaluate that when we get a light in there.
Well, that goes all the way up as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where I'm going to cut it. We'll get rid of this, these tubings, and fix some holes.
Okay.
So it feels silly that this is a major accomplishment, but we're close to the point of starting putting stuff back in,
Yeah.
which is where I want to be. That's the part I enjoy. I don't enjoy all this tear down,
No.
dust, and
It
dirt.
feels like you never know when the end is. So now,
Right.
having done that, it doesn't feel like we learned something else has to be taken apart. Whereas
Yeah.
before, we thought we were almost there and then learned 4 things needed done.
Yeah.
So it does feel good
Yep.
to actually
Yeah.
We reassemble with the metal we bought,
Yeah.
what, 2 months ago?
Yeah, it ain't been that long. Let's get this stuff knocked out, and we'll turn you guys back on after we get that done. Well, we took a few minutes and got all the goofiness off the side here. It had them air hose fittings that came through the side here, and a bunch of nasty bolts and
We're on the inside.
eye bolts bolted through it. We got all that garbly gook off of there. And while we was at it, we went ahead and knocked the rest of the hodgepodges of patches and everything back here in each corner. Got those all knocked off and realized this whole corner here has been rebuilt, and not very well at that. So, and we knew on the outside that there's like 3 inches of, that's an exaggeration, there's a ton of Bondo. This is Bondo right here. Built up. I mean, it is like, I bet you it's an inch thick right here for absolutely no reason. So we're probably going to have to rebuild this entire section again, and we're going to do it a lot better than what they did. But probably going to have to find like a fiberglass camper shell or something that I can steal chunks, flat chunks of fiberglass out of and rebuild this whole area. So there's some of their handiwork. But, and it's, you know, I don't want to beat on the guy who did this too much, because if it wasn't for him doing what he could with what he had, this thing wouldn't be around still probably. So it is what it is. Yeah. But I was all gung-ho to start jumping in and doing metal, and that dawned on me, we can't do very much of it, because we have to fix all these holes where the angle iron was before we get too far, because all that's going to be behind our new angle iron. So I think the next thing we need to do is patch all these holes. Yay!
To grind it first.
Yeah, grind it all out and patch those. I don't know how much of that I want to tackle today, but that whole hole there's got to go away.
I feel like this is another piece, like you said, for the, like, find that camper shell.
Yeah, find some kind of panel to go in there.
Yeah, we can kind of fill that gap, and then we could use the sheets of
Yeah.
stuff we bought.
Yeah. So what do you think, JR? Are we doing it right? He's just ready to go in. Are you ready to go in? No? Okay. So I guess we're going to clean up our rust mess here and start playing Body Man, I guess.
We could fake it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to fake it because we don't have a clue what we're doing. So don't hesitate to tell us how wrong we're doing it, because this is pretty well our first time for both of us messing with fiberglass. I've did it once before, but I don't remember doing it. So, yay. Well, we didn't quite make it as far as I'd hoped to. We had some guests show up and visited for them for a little bit, or with them for a little bit. But we got everything sanded down on this wall up to here. And I got to do a bunch of work to fix that. So I just went ahead and stopped there for the night on that side. This side, I ground that down, and then I realized I'm probably actually doing that backwards. So I quit sanding on that, because really I need to put a piece of wood or something in here and then build it up from the back side or the outside of the van, and build it up from the inside out. I was sanding that the wrong way, I think, but got going down through here and ran into this mess. and they had all kinds of plumber strap and all kinds of this crap, all that stuff there jammed in there. I need to pry this off yet. But basically, if it was, come back here, sweetie. Basically, if they had a broke spot, they bolted it together with some tin or plumber strap or whatever they could find in the scrap pile. And if the layers of the fiberglass were like this, instead of butting them up and then glassing it, there's a lot of the spots like this right here and all this. I'll show this to you better on the outside, but if the fiberglass was cracked and it was like this, they just left it and filled that step with Bondo. So we gotta get rid of all that Bondo. There's a lot of places that the Bondo is a 1/2 inch thick or more. So we gotta get rid of that, get rid of all this old crusty metal in there. And my goal was to get everything sanded down to where we could come out here in the morning and fill those holes, let it set up, sand it down, and then put metal in the wall, put all of our tubing in. Once I seen this, I realized that wasn't going to happen tonight. This is going to take quite a bit of work to get it ready for fiberglass. And I don't know what time it is. It's probably
Midnight.
It is 12:02. So my fat's tired and I'm ready to go in and take a shower. So we're going to call it a night for tonight. I said I was going to show you that on the outside. Come around here. You guys seen the step inside there where that was at, and they just smoothed it out. So there's literally a 1/2 inch worth of material right there and down through here. So we gotta get this all pulled apart and fixed before we can put that floor in. And it goes all the way up. There's literally, these are the heads of bolts, and that is recessed down to the head of the bolt. So they put them 1/4 inch bolts up through here with that plumber strap, bolting that together, and filled the whole area with a 1/4 inch of Bondo to hide the head of those bolts.
Those look like the same bolts that are on the driver's side that we found in a row too.
Yeah. Whoever was doing the Bondo repair, and it's on the face right here as well. You can kind of see how thick that is right there. That's all Bondo. So, and these still have bolts in them. You can see the heads of the screws right there.
Yeah.
So we gotta get all those out.
But we don't necessarily have to do all that to get the inner floor structure, do we? That piece.
Yeah, this right here is gonna have to happen, and that's all part of that. This is gonna be all the same patch. As far as this area's gotta get fixed, and this crack that goes all the way up here, all that's gotta get fixed before we put a bunch of angle iron in our way. So, it's
I guess I didn't realize you had to do this all in one piece. I think that was fiberglass.
No, that is not fiberglass. That is straight Bondo.
Then what's that?
There might be a sliver of fiberglass in there, but most of that is all Bondo. Can't break it. Yeah, that's all Bondo.
Beautiful.
So, apparently they didn't believe in doing fiberglass work. They just did it in Bondo.
Maybe they got confused because, to be fair, our fiberglass stuff says Bondo brand on it.
Yeah. I'm going to have to sand that all down, and what I'm going to do is build, take like a 1x2 or something, piece of wood, and on the back side of this, build an arch. And I'm not going to screw it in like that, per se, but I'll fiberglass that and make that part of the...
Like wrap it in that sheeting, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the bottom of it, my goal will be to make the bottom of it pretty well follow this contour, which is a huge step in it right there where they just bonded over that crack. Anyway, When I put it in there, I'll fiberglass it to the back side of this so that the wood will be encased in there and add structure to it so it doesn't blow apart so easy. But really, to do this right, all this glass needs attention before we do any floor.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, it's so floppy with no structure that our new fiberglass is going to end up cracked.
Well, and to me, if you're gonna put wood in the fender well, like you said, we kind of need some more structure in here because, like, the floor's bowed out this way. Mm-hmm. So if you go to put wood in that, and then we go to attach it, and it's actually in here,
Yeah, you're saying
you're gonna end up bowing the fender
Yeah.
well out. I think I'm describing that right. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. You're saying get everything squared up before we reinforce it, so we don't reinforce it with a crooked.
Right.
I agree with you.
It's kind of no different than what they did.
Yeah.
It's just a different mannerism.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll figure it out.
But hey, it's progress.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy when you look at what we've done and consider it progress. When you look inside of here.
It's fine. It's cleaner.
Yeah.
And kind of naked. I forgot to go back and do these. I got mad at the punch
Yeah.
and gave up. There's 4 there, but that doesn't have to happen.
Looking in this wall, down this wall, let me see that phone. Look how crooked, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on here. There you can see it. Look how crooked that wall structure is. So that needs some love.
At this part.
Goodness. Every time we work on it, we find more crap that needs done.
Just quit looking at it.
Yeah, just don't look at it. Oh boy. Yeah, because this wall's always had a ripple in it. I don't know how well it shows up on here. There's a big ripple right in the middle of that logo that I would love to make go away, but I don't know that we'll be able to do it. So, all right. Well, I'm calling it a night.
Yeah.
We'll hit it again tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. Tomorrow's Father's Day, so I don't know how much we're going to work on it, but probably some. Well, at this point, I feel like somebody needs to start a crime watchers network for people who do body work who shouldn't. That is horrible. The only thing that was attaching it was this little rotten piece here. The rest was just all the layers of Bondo.
Do you think it was honestly still attached when they bondoed it?
I don't know. I don't understand why they didn't fiberglass it and fix it right.
I was gonna say, it seems like it would have been pretty easy to put a mesh over that and fiberglass it.
It's hard telling. That wheel well might have still been solid and made it to where they couldn't get to the backside of it. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to. I don't know. But on a positive note, I can now get to this easy to sand it off. Even right here, there's an 1/8 inch or better of Bondo. And then, I mean, you can see how much I chipped off. But it got to the point to where it was easier just to chip it off than it was to try to sand it.
Right.
And the bad part is that they didn't seal it on the back side, so there was constantly, this is mud. That's mud.
Like earth mud.
Yeah, that's road dirt coming up in behind the crack and then getting behind the Bondo and freezing and making it worse. So, but good times.
Do you think that this all needs sanded smooth, like grind it like a clean edge?
I will literally take that out probably and take this off and put new material in there.
Try to marry them.
I'm essentially going to remake this. I'm going to cut all these edges off, I think, and put wood in behind there, adhere it, make this actually a radius instead of a step like that, like it was.
Yeah.
And start over.
That's
so
wild.
What I'm going to do for you viewers at home, I'm going to put screws in here into a block of wood that I'm going to cut to this radius. I'm then going to fiberglass that on the back side. And then what I'm gonna do differently is I'm gonna take them screws back out after that's glassed. And then we're gonna make this nice and smooth like it should have been.
With fiberglass.
And not a 1/2 inch gap. So yeah, it's not gonna look like this. It's gonna be all glass other than our wood backer for strength, which is common fiberglass repair is what it sounds like of what my YouTube education says. So good times.
But when you say make the front smooth when you take the screws out, you mean with fiberglass, not Bondo, correct?
Yeah, it'll all be glass, and we won't have a 1/2 inch high bump there to hide the heads of bolts. But now I can sand this down better, and I can get in here with the DA nice and flat. Mm-hmm. Positives, you gotta look at the positives.
Progress.
Yeah, what you said. I still gotta take this all down too. Look at this.
That's so, I almost called it drywall.
Might as well be.
Holy cow. Are you,
That's at least a 1/4 inch thick and mud right there as well.
does the
I know the
screwdriver-
camera's not picking it up, but this is a step in the glass. Like there's a long crack right here, and they just build it up with mud instead of fixing the crack.
When you do that, is the screwdriver coming through the other side?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. That crack goes all the way down through there. They just, instead of fixing it, they just mud over it, and where there's a step, they're just filling that up.
Do you think this is the same guy that fixed the metal on the front floor?
Probably. But there's 2 layers of repair here. There is a layer of fiberglass repair, and then there's a layer of Bondo repair over that. So this has been repaired twice. So
I guess what we can say is, had it not been repaired, would any of this be here?
probably not. The van probably wouldn't be here.
So,
Positives. Think of the positives. So I'm going to quit boring you guys with sanding. I'm just going to go ahead and shut the camera off, sand the bejesus out of this, and then eventually put glass back in. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get glass back in today, but that's a lot of sanding. It's easier to pry it out than sand. That went right in my eye hole.
I was gonna say, you should put your goggles back on.
They protected my forehead. All right,
Okay.
I'll catch up with you guys when we're ready to start putting something together. Well, Alicia's not out here, but I wanted to bring you guys on board real quick to show you something. And that is, for one, more horrible bodywork. 2 is this original collar right here. That is teal, and that is Alicia's absolutely favorite collar, which is really interesting because the comments have been made, we should paint it back to the original collar, which we thought was this dark blue, but she really likes teal. So, the original collar is actually teal, which I thought is pretty cool. But what is not cool is this inside panel. There's about this much of it that is straight Bondo, this 2-inch thick freaking Bondo. And so I'm gonna have to make part of the wall here. Nope, we're getting an actual fiberglass there. I just cannot fathom doing that, like putting bolts through something and then Bondoing over it. I mean, that's a washer right there that's under 3/8 of an inch of Bondo. Pretty crazy. But we're going to keep on chipping away at her, literally. I think Alicia's going to be pretty stoked to see that collar teal underneath there. We'll have to go get her here in a minute. You guys can watch her reaction. Man, I'm hoping I can keep chipping that off and I don't have to sand it all off. Man, there's a gallon of Bondo in this corn. It has been hot out here. It is, see, what is it now? It's actually cooled down a little bit out here. It is currently 90 degrees, about 91. And the heat index is well over 100, which for you that aren't from this area, the heat index is way worse than the actual temperature, because that stuff is what your body feels like it is. What you got?
My phone says it feels like 95, and it's 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Basically.
Does it say what the heat index is?
Well, that's the real feel, so I guess that's the heat index.
No, heat index is different than that, I think. I don't know. We're not weatherologists.
Heat index 96, real feel 95.
Yeah.
Dew point 76.
Yeah. So it is nasty, nasty out here.
Nasty.
You're not supposed to be outside if you're frail like me. But a little tidbit to add to that is with my brain injury, my body no longer regulates its temperature like it's supposed to, along with other things too. So I got to be really careful out here working when it's this hot. But we're going to do what we can do to keep moving on this thing. So that's why the progress has been slow. But here's where we're at right now. So I got all this sanded down, and I think it's ready to finally start to go together. We went and bought some overpriced paper, cardboard stuff. We're gonna make a template for this radius here. Hold that for me, sweetie. We're gonna make a template to make a piece of wood that goes in here all the way around, and I apologize if I've already covered this, but anyway, that's what we're gonna do so I can build all this and fill this back in. But while working on this thing and Alicia knocking all these rivets out, there's been a lot of things that's kind of tied into her dad who has passed away, and she discovered something pretty neat that she wanted to share.
Yeah, so we spent, what was it, last weekend, or I don't even know what day it was now.
I don't know.
But we popped all these rivets out, and so we spent several hours. And at one point I even said, I'm really mad at this punch. And it was really just frustrating because I was struggling to hold on to it even. And at one point I looked down and I caught the angle of it just right. And I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this or not, but if you can see these initials, RLW right here. My dad had the same initials as his dad, and so he would engrave all of his tools. And so in the middle of working on this, while I was getting kind of frustrated and mad at it, it dawned on me that I'd been using one of my dad's tools working on a project that I know that he would love to contribute to.
Yeah.
As I throw it.
And
he would be out here probably helping us.
Oh, for sure.
Had he been able to come home after we bought the shop and everything. And
Yep.
I think he would really love this project.
Yeah, her dad unfortunately passed away about the same time I bought the shop, so he never knew that we acquired it. So, but on the flip side of that, we have no idea how that punch got in my toolbox. No. So it's kind of cool to see his initials pop up in the project. So we're going to try to make a template here. I don't think you guys need to watch me do that. You've seen people draw on cardboard before, I'm sure. But we're going to do that, and then tomorrow we're going to get some help from a woodworking buddy who's got all kinds of scraps and all kinds of woodworking tools to make these, and then that's where we'll pick up. I'm going to try to get back out here in the morning. I got out here about 7 o'clock this morning, and about 6 o'clock this morning, and got this stuff all tore apart. That was a freaking mess. Yeah.
I'm on the floor? What's
Yeah,
there?
that all came out of there. This is what was there. So I believe this is a patch panel, or they cut this out of another van. It does not have the proper pieces here, and it's cut all wonky here. But the problem is that this piece only came down to here. So they just put another big piece of band of fiberglass over top of that and put bolts through it and did all that. I'll throw in some pictures here of me chipping that apart. But I think we're finally ready to start reassembling, and then on the floors finally, maybe. So we're gonna make some templates real quick, and when we come back to you, it'll be the next morning. Well, there is proof that we don't know what we're doing. We did, what's that?
Is this proof too?
No, I think that's par for the course. But we did this row. The first one, I definitely didn't get enough hardener in. It's still not really setting up. I'm hoping that's just because of the humidity. I don't know what to think there. We did this in 3 sections, as you guys just saw. And the middle batch that I mixed up, or the second, or I think it was the second batch, I got way too much hardener in because it's set up before I could ever apply it. So definitely learning as we go and messing it up as we go, but we're going to let that set. We put this yellow tape on the outside to give us a backer. We're going to let that sit and see if it hardens up before we do anything else, and see if it's actually going to work. We're hoping it's just because of the humidity and the heat. It's just shy of 100 degrees out here. And what's that?
I looked before we did that last batch, and the dew point was 76.
Yeah,
It's like water's literally like being poured on you from the sky right now.
Yeah, it's horrible out here.
It's
So
like breathing sludge.
Yep. So our buddy down the road from us, he took my template and cut us out a piece on his CNC router table here and got us this wood piece made. So we're going to run to town here after a while and buy some like oak, half of a sheet of oak plywood to fasten into the backside behind this lip. And then let me start over. Our buddy up the road bought us, good grief. My brain's a potato. I can't talk.
I don't know if potato is the right word. It's more like...
It's fried potato.
There you go.
So I took our template down to our buddy down the road, and he transferred into a cut file for a CNC router table and cut us this just to make sure it's going to work. It's going to work all right for a backer. We're going to temporarily attach it behind this fender. Once he cuts us a piece of 1/2-inch oak plywood, we're going to go get a half sheet of that, a 4x4 sheet. He's going to cut it. I'm going to temporarily fasten it to the back of here with some screws. We'll glass this in, and then eventually we'll glass that to the back and pull our screws out and fill those holes. So we'll have a piece of oak in the back there for extra strength. So the fender will have to wait until we get that done, but we're going to wait and make sure that we did this good enough that it's going to hold up before we go any further. So right now it's a hurry up and wait moment. I feel like
hurry up and wait in the air conditioning for a little bit.
Don't be silly.
It's a little
hot. If I go inside, I want to come back outside though.
Well, I didn't have to go inside in my Jeep to go to the store.
This is true.
So,
But I feel like this stuff should have already set up, and it's not. So I don't know what to think there.
I fear that it's maybe not so much our mixture, but the humidity.
Yeah.
Because it said if you get it too hot, it still won't set.
Yeah.
Something I read was that you could put a heater there for like 10 minutes, but not much longer, and so far away, like it was very specific. Because if it gets too hot too fast, it will not set.
Yeah.
So I fear that maybe
We can't turn our heater off though.
no.
But
And it's kind of in it instead of near it.
yeah. Not the best day to be doing this by no means, and I keep putting it off, but I can't put it off anymore. Yeah, still very gooey.
And I don't know how you would have done this by yourself, honestly.
Yeah, it would have been a pain in the butt.
Been a hot mess.
Well, it's a hot mess anyway, but
Utilizing the day off is definitely
yeah.
maybe the way to go.
We're going to let that set, and we'll get back with you guys after a while. This is just proof of how cooked our brains was. We went with the smallest vehicle we own to get a sheet of plywood. Luckily, Lowe's cuts that in half for free for us. We ended up at our buddy's shop, Yesterday's Tree, where he cut them out quickly with his CNC router table. Once we got those done, we headed back to the shop to find out. Isn't that beautiful? Well, we got back from town, and our buddy cut these out for us, as you guys saw. If you guys aren't following his page, go do that real quick. I'll throw links in the description. It is Yesterday's Tree. He makes some high-end, beautiful furniture. So go check his stuff out if you're into woodworking. But these are going to work pretty good. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get all this tar out of here. I apologize. I'm sure I'm repeating myself. Get that stuff stripped out, and then we'll make that part of the build, essentially a part of the body. We're probably going to put you guys back on time lapse for a little bit. We're going to get some few more holes patched up, do some stuff back here, get this what's the word I'm looking for? Particularly unique shaped patch done here. I've got to get some material to do that. So
We're just gonna go so far, right?
yeah, we're going to do these holes right tonight. Those up through here, and probably these here, and maybe work on this big hole. I'll have to screw a piece of wood or something to the back of it as a temporary backer. And then, well, we got to do some holes here. But if we get that and this area here done, I think we can put metal down and start putting some flourish type stuff in here. So
That would be nice.
yeah,
It does feel good to finally have this thing that we've been talking about for 18 years
yeah.
in there for some
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah, so let's get patching some holes, and then let's shoot for getting, I hate always setting goals because they never happen. Let's get the holes patched. Let's shoot for that goal tonight, and then we'll go back on the outside of these and put some stuff on the outside. Get all these done, and then tomorrow let's shoot for putting iron in. Let's put some metal in. So this big old hole here is going to take a minute, but we'll get it done. And it is July 3rd, so we've got some cookouts and stuff to go to, but we are going to get flooring this video yet. It has literally took us 3 weeks of work to get this thing done with these temperatures, so we're sticking with it. We're making it happen. I don't care how hot it is or if we die. Well, guys, it is 12:15.
It's officially the 4th of July.
Yeah, it's technically the 4th of July. So, but we're calling it a day. We've made some killer progress. I'm super stoked with what we got done. All the little holes are full. We got this patched up inside and out. Basically, I got to build the wheel wells, get a piece of fiberglass for that, and most of the fiberglass, at least in the main body, is done. We'll have a bunch more once we start on the nose cone, but I'm pretty stoked with our progress for the day. And
This turned out pretty good.
yeah, we're really close.
It's hideous,
Yeah,
but considering.
yeah, we're really, really close to being able to put floors in. I think I can do this with the floor in. We got this crack all fixed up and got our patches in there. I'm going to make a piece of wood that goes in here to give me some structure there to work with. But all these little holes are done, all that.
I think this one will be fine.
Yeah, so that first one,
Hair sticky, but
yeah, that first one I didn't put enough hardener in, so it's getting there. But got the bullet holes patched up. And this piece of rubber will come back off. We're just using it to give us some support until that sets up. I'll take them screws out, and then we'll put a couple of patches on the inside there. So all this needs sanded down, and I guess we got some patches there to do. I said all the holes are done, but I lied. We got that there. But I think tomorrow we can put some floor in here.
do we need to do this before we do the floor?
Yeah, that needs to happen, and then just run the DA over that and get it leveled out real quick. And
And then we can clean up our mess.
yeah, then we should be able to temporarily put a piece of angle iron all the way down this side. And then by that time, this piece should be dried up, set up enough to where we can run the angle iron up to the corner up there. And, or not the corner, but the end of the door. And then start throwing some cross members in this bad boy. And I am freaking stoked for that.
I'm ready.
Once we get the angle iron in, we can start adding these down supports, add in our extra horizontal bars, and actually make some headway.
I'm ready.
And once that's done, we can start to get the frame ready for the permanent mounts on it as well. So, goal is to make her run and drive by the end of September. Only 2 months.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. So, we will see you guys again in the morning. Well, poop. We getting back out here for the first time, and we got problems. I don't know if you can see that, but it is still sticky, and it's been quite some time. I don't know what the answer is to that. I'm not real sure. What's that, sweetie?
Over 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was.
It's been almost 30 hours, and I thought I mixed that stuff pretty strong. Boy, we ain't gonna be able to see diddly until we get a light on it in here. Not all those discs that's on the floor are junk, sweetie.
No.
The good news is it feels like it's set up on the outside, or the inside, whatever you want to call it. You know what? I think where it's sticky is where it's over the paint that's where it wasn't sanded.
It's kind of better. But...
This is all, it's slightly sticky, not good. It has been super, super humid, so that's playing a role in it, I'm sure. This here all feels good. Them big patches seem good. Yeah, where it's sticky out here is on the paint. Yuck.
But this front row that we did.
That's all solid as could be. What, sweetie?
This front row that we did. the first like 12 holes where we weren't sure on the mixture.
Yeah.
I think it started to get harder in there. I don't know what it feels like now. But out here where you can kind of touch it through the hole, it's still a little gummy. So the bottom layer I don't think is...
In here, as long as it's not over the gray, like where we didn't sand, or whatever color that is, blue, I don't know. That's where it's sticky.
Okay.
Where we didn't sand. So
my guess...
the good thing is in here, if we get it knocked down to where it's level enough to put angle iron on, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Out there is where we can't be leaving stuff sticky.
Well, it's not coming through the hole. I had to put my finger in the slight dip of the
Is it?
hole.
Is it going to be one of those things that we just ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist?
I don't know. It wasn't just sticky. One of them, I pulled it away and there was like a string.
Oh, that's no bueno.
Yeah. I did touch them all, just that one.
The joys of not knowing what in the world you're doing.
The bottom layer did not definitely set up.
Those are good. That's good. Let's see our big patch. What's it look like? That had a lot to it. That seems good. Definitely needs more material in it. Well, fiddle farts. We're about, I would call it a 70% success, maybe 80%.
Is it enough success that we can move on?
Oh, I'm definitely moving on. I don't know what else we can do. Oh yeah, that's nasty. Ew. Yeah. I don't know what the answer is there. Will it set up in time? Will it...
Can we just dab a little hardener on it? Does it work that way?
paint hardener on with a model brush. A little touch-up brush. That's a little tacky there, too. Daggone it. I don't understand that. I felt like I had a good ratio going on. Somebody in the comments, let us know what in the world we're doing wrong.
So if I poke that with my nail, it feels harder than it feels this way, so it might be tacky coming out on the paint like you said. See?
Yeah. Oh yeah, my fingers are nasty now. I don't know what the answer is. See, because here, that feels fine. You get right there, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Down here, it feels fine.
Did you check these? I guess we didn't take the tape off this side. We took the tape off the other side.
These felt good on the inside. Church bells are going off. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That bulged out there.
Oh, that's neat.
What'd you do?
There's stuff stuck to the resin on the floor.
Oh, we'll get that. That's the least of my worries. But there's tools in that crap that you're...
No, I pulled it out.
Well, okay. I would rather you not sweep that up because there's chunks in there that we need. This is bulged out like it's pregnant and it's tacky. Maybe it's because it didn't ever get air to it because of the tape. I don't know. This is why I like metal work. I know what I'm doing when it comes to melting metal together.
How about I just pull out the big pieces?
Whatever. I don't care at this point.
There's used fiberglass all over the floor. I don't really want to play in it.
It's fine. Somebody tell us what we did wrong. Somebody more in the know. Well, I guess I'll continue peeling some paint off. Or paint. Well, I guess technically I'm peeling paint off. Peeling tape off. And we'll, I don't know what I was even saying there. I'm so distracted by myself, I guess. There ain't no tape over here anymore. I think what I'm going to do, I'll probably patch this up on the inside. And I don't think I'm going to do any more wheel well arches until I figure out what in the world I'm doing wrong. Which means we're going to come in here after we get the lights turned on. Fix that area because we have to before we can make any more progress. I think the wisest thing to do, even though it doesn't make sense for the overall project goal, is to get our angle iron in here, get our wall structure in here, our uprights, all that. We'll work on that. And I'm going to rely on you guys to tell me what I'm doing wrong before I tackle this big hole and building these arches, because I want that stuff done right. And hopefully it's going to hold up. This stuff down here is more cosmetic than anything. Our new, because I'm going to go between those with our new holes. And then obviously the angle iron is going to add all that support back in. So, but we need strong support and then wheel wells. So I'm going to rely on you guys to tell me what we're doing wrong. So we're going to clean up a little bit and then get ready to cut some iron, I guess. I don't know what else to do to keep making progress that makes sense. Well, that came out rather well. We're going to do some cleanup on those, obviously, and fill those up. But that inside patch right over there popped right off. So that worked really, really good. I'm happy with that. I'm going to sand this down, and I'm going to put a big patch or two that goes all the way over that and kind of sandwiches it between that original layer. Once we do that, I'm going to mix that with some heavy on the hardener to get that to set up quickly. And then I think the next step there is we'll get this big thing squared up, the whole body. I'm going to change up our rear jack stands and put in the screw type. See if I can see them real quick over here. I don't see them at first look, but I have the type that are threaded that you can screw up and down to tune them. We're going to put those in the back, and I'm going to make some adjustable feet in the front so we can get this thing perfectly square this way, side to side, everything. And that will allow us to just use a level on our floors. If we get the body level, when we start hanging iron in here, start hanging our tubing and our angle iron and everything, we can just hit it with the level. We don't have to try to match it to anything if everything is square. So I'm gonna get this glassed in real quick so it can harden, and then that's where we're gonna go next. I went ahead and knocked out the fiberglass so it can be setting up. As soon as I got that done, I think I put 3 layers on it. As soon as I got that done, we started switching out these rear jack stands and made it to where we could get this thing leveled up every which way possible. And instead of putting leveler feet on our front uprights that we have temporary in there, we just used a plate of steel and shimmed them up to where they were straight as well. So here's what we're fighting. We are perfectly level this way, all the way around. Our rear doors are straight up and down, but what we're fighting is our sides are not straight across from each other. If you measure, we're having a hard time finding anything that's symmetrical up here, but Alicia measured off of this duct right here, and we measured to each corner back there, and this side is 3/4 of an inch further back. So what that means is this whole wall is back further than this wall, providing and assuming that is where it should be. The problem with fiberglass bodies is we don't know what has moved where, and there's very little, if anything, up here as a square measuring point. All this dash structure in here is bent and pushed up in the middle, so nothing's square there. Obviously the sides are not the same, because this side we have the window, that side we have the door.
This is the same up here, right? Do you think that shelf this way?
No, I don't have any faith in that, because it's not like a molded uniform
Like
fit.
a man cut.
Yeah, that is jammed in there. I'm looking up here in these corners and looking for something symmetrical.
What What about off of these brackets up there?
No, those just clamp in.
You don't think they're in the same spot to make the windshield symmetrical though?
No. They're gonna go wherever that glass landed. I'm looking in these corners to see if we can measure off those, but they're not quite the same either. I don't think. That might be the same track. Yeah, I think that's the same track on each side.
I think they had it to where there's doors on one side maybe at one point.
Well, I think this is the same metal that they built here. I think that's all the same.
Those look the same this way. That one just has a handle welded to it.
Yeah. So we might be able to pull a measurement there. You might bring your ladder in here and let's get a measurement up there and we'll exit that way. We took about 20,000 different measurements on this thing, trying to make sure we have it perfectly straight. What we ended up with was the sides were pretty well straight to begin with each other, but the passenger side rear and the driver's side front were pushed away from each other in a manner that made the body of the van kind of diamond shaped. We first tried pulling this straight with a 1-inch strap and quickly broke it and had to break out a big strap. Once we got that pulled in, we welded in some angle braces in the top, and then I continued knocking out some sanding down these sides and got everything leveled out so where we could start throwing iron in this. I dropped on the driver's side uprights, got them sleeved and then put in, made sure they're straight front to back. Got the front one done and then moved on to the back one. Okay guys, I want to show you what I'm dealing with here. If you look down this wall, I'm sure I've brung this up before, but I hope you can see it here. It's hard to see in this on the phone. There you go, you can see it pretty good. See how this comes out right there and then kicks in? The original plan was to cut these off and just replace them all the way over. But I've got a better idea, I think, because Alicia really doesn't want to put new rivets right in the middle of this logo. She's trying to keep this logo. So what I think I'm going to do here, we've already got these. We didn't have a choice on those because that was the stuff for the door. But I think what I can do here is I can cut the front side or the inside, whatever you want to call this, and then here and here on both of those, and bend them out straight, get rid of some of the buckle in this wall, and then I will butt into them, but I will also just lay a new one on top and double all those up. When I'm welding this stuff, this original material is paper thin. I'm having to turn the welder almost all the way down. It's like on 1.5 or 2 on the amps. And it's still just melting through it. So I'm going to double up all of these and sister them, so to speak. I might just come over to like here so I don't have to jack with notching over this, because this piece is recessed into the tube to accommodate for this lip. But I might come in here and just go right beside them and then on top as well. And even these, I'm definitely adding some more horizontals, but my thoughts are, I was telling Alicia about this last night, was we have this awesome rack up there on the top, right? I want to be able to actually use that. So where that is anchored in here, wherever those down legs are, I want to make sure they're sitting on something solid that goes all the way down through the floor and into something good. So wherever those are, I want to make sure we have sufficient support. I think that's a bolt for it right there. I want to make sure we have sufficient support coming all the way down to our cross members. So, but I want to jump on here real quick and explain what we're doing there. I got sidetracked there with the whole roof thing, but I'm just going to notch these, and hopefully I can pull that back and make this right. And then I've been writing myself notes everywhere so I hopefully don't screw up. We're going to do double uprights right here because that's going to be our latch on our door. So this first one will probably have a bunch of holes in it for the latch on the door, and then we'll still have a solid one there. So that's where we're at right now. I'm going to get to hacking on these, and goal is to wrap this video up today and have some flooring in this bad boy. And by flooring, I mean cross members. We're not going to have the actual floor in, but I want to have some cross members in this thing and have our sides tied together, and it'll be awesome. Yeah, that's perfect. That made a huge difference. I should have did this beforehand so you guys could see how bad that was, but that's going to allow that to lay perfectly flat. And then once we get this upright right here in and get some new rivets in it, it'll really pull that together. So pretty happy with that idea. Gonna have to figure something out here. I might not, well, I have to, daggone it. I was getting ready to say I might not butt into that. I might just run it on top, but I have to use those existing rivet holes because we don't want to add more if we can avoid it. So, yep, gotta get rid of that goofy plug-in thing up there. They had a plug-in on the outside of the van. Get our double uprights hung and throw those bad boys in there. Well, that was exciting. I don't know why in the world I didn't think of that would heat that fiberglass up, but certainly did. Oh, so we're fighting this wall, keeping it straight because, let me shut this water off. We're fighting keeping this wall straight because of this brace. Apparently this wall was kicked a little bit, but none of this factory cross members and nothing of that is square. I should have cut all that out, but it is what it is. I'm probably gonna have to wait to do any cross members until I get this stuff out so I can square this wall up. Basically I made the upright that I welded in match the top existing part so that they're at least in the same plane so I can straighten them up later. And then this one's perfectly straight, but it's self-adjusting. You can just give her a wiggle and she'll go where you need her. And then when we do the door, I'll double up another one right here beside it and double that up, so. Phew, we're getting there. Little at a time, one piece at a time, right? I also noticed, you guys probably seen me staring at this for a long time. I noticed that our kitchen window area was planning on being right here. So I'm gonna have to wait on the boss lady's final approval on what to do there because I know she's wanting to save that logo, but I know she's also wanting a window. So the plan is right now is the kitchen sink's gonna be right here. So I'm not sure what to do there on cross members, so we're waiting on that. I guess I can put a cross member in down here yet. And maybe even on back. Decisions. I can't really do our bottom angle iron until I cut that out, which I might just have to do it. Might just have to make it go away. I guess I can add, let me think here. No, I can't either. I was going to say, I guess I could add some here to make that more solid, but I can't because this needs to come in. So I'm not sure. We got to keep it from shifting at an angle is the biggest thing. And I don't want to cut all this stuff out so that that wall can come in and then it shift at an angle and be back to square one. I might have to cut all that out, put the ratchet strap back corner to corner and pull it square again and then recut and weld, you know. We'll figure it out eventually. So Alicia has joined us now.
I'm here.
I got our floor cross members cut. I think I got enough of them cut. And but we're not quite ready for that. What I need from you though is decide what you want to do with the window.
He told me the debacle with that, and I don't love it.
Yeah. So I texted her and told her about her, let me out the door there. I told her about the logo basically being where we had originally thought about putting a window. So we had thought about putting one on each side in the back above the bed on the sides. And then, yeah, right there. We had talked about putting one up here because there's probably going to be some kind of couch / bed here. So that one's going to be in the window, or in the logo, I mean. That window will be in the logo.
But definitely one where like the sink stove cookness area would be, makes the most sense.
Yeah.
You have to.
So I don't want to build a bunch of the structure until we find out where the window is going to go. And I did do something that was a little bit better that I think you'll like. We talked about cutting these out and changing them out, which meant changing the rivets in the middle of the logo.
Yeah.
I just notched them and then pulled them out where they need to be. And then I'll leave them like that. Obviously, I'll weld that gap up. And then, well, this one might end up actually going away depending on where your window is going to be.
Sure.
But anyway, they're fairly straight now. But the more I measured on this wall, and I measured and I measured and I measured, nothing is straight on this wall. I think at one time this thing was probably wrecked pretty hard on this side because even the upper rail is bent, the very upper rail.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nothing straight. Short of taking that all the way out and starting over, there's no way to get that wall perfectly straight. So,
I mean, I do, but I don't.
yeah. So, this angle of the dangle and that angle of the dangle match, and they're both equally crooked. And then we can potentially get them straighter later, or we can just leave them. There's about 1/8 of an inch difference from top to bottom. This still has a bow in the middle of it, but I can't get that out until we take this temporary cross member out. So
are you saying, where's there 1/8 of an inch difference? Is it the gap between the
top of this here is 1/8 inch further out than the bottom.
it's not
So that
like
wall
this,
is like this.
It's leaning like this.
Yeah. So grab that level and you can put it on this one. This one's probably moves some. See, yeah. So that one's pretty straight. That one's not bad. But I mean, if you just barely breathe on it, it moves because the only thing it's holding is that little chintzy C-channel in there.
Did you mount that
So
level?
that's level. Where is the little level?
Oh. I was going to say, this is the little level.
If you put that on that wall or on that post, it's not perfect. It's not bad.
It's between the lines.
Okay.
But it's...
So if you get that level, there's no good way to level this upward part. You have to
No.
take the level back from me. There's no good way to get a measurement on that because none of these are on the same plane, meaning this is sunk in a little bit further than here, and that one up there is just the opposite, and none of this is straight. So there's not a whole lot.
It's not one piece.
There's not a whole lot to pull off of to get a level. So, but this moves real easy as well. You can push or pull on that because this stuff's like paper.
Yeah.
So the existing structure is horribly thin, and I plan to do a lot to make it stronger.
I was gonna say, you talked about doing something here yesterday. Did you just skip that part,
Doing what?
doubling it up?
I will do that afterwards later. Like, that's not a priority right now.
Oh, I see.
So what she's talking about is I plan on putting a sister right here, like I talked about, going from the up through here, and then I'll put another one up there and another one up there, and try to make it a lot more solid. And then I'm going to add I'm going to go on the plasma table and just cut a bunch of little triangle pieces out to throw in all the corners as well.
For each corner?
For a lot of them, because that's why this thing's cattywampus. And it just doesn't have a lot of strength that way.
So what you're saying is you can't put cross members in unless you take these out?
Define cross members.
Here.
I can.
I'm trying to remember, because you texted me while I was working, so I'm
Yeah.
trying to put it back together. You said I need to take these out to do something, but I can't do the something unless I leave these.
It's kind of one of them deals. It's just like pick our battles in the sense of I measured so much on this wall after we talked on this wall over here that there's no way I'm going to make it all square unless I start over. So I'm giving myself an 1/8 inch tolerance on pretty much everything, that if it's within an 1/8 inch of each other, I'm calling it good. I can't make it square. So we can put the floor in, but before that I do that, I would like to add more support going up,
Yeah.
because essentially what we're going to do, we're going to hang the weight off all that C-channel on this roof that's not supported very well. I added in this tubing right here, and I can't remember if that was in this video or not, or if that was the last video. I don't know. But I added in that tubing up there because this side over here with this door in it doesn't have much strength, and it's basically going to buckle this little thin piece of C-channel right there. That's the only thing holding this whole wall up. So if we put cross members in here, we need to add a leg going to the floor, in my opinion, a temporary leg, add some more bracing in here, something to add some more strength.
One of which should be here, but you didn't do that again because of the window.
Right. That's why I didn't add any more in here. I spent the rest of the day cutting all those, and let me tell you how fun it is to wrangle a full stick of that by yourself.
Is it 20 feet long?
I think they're 24.
Jeez.
No, they're 20s. They're 20s. Yeah, they're 20s because I got 3 pieces out of each stick. So, anyway.
That's to go here?
Yep. I can't remember how wide or how far apart we said we was going to put those, but I cut enough to go every foot. I don't know that we need to go that much, but
I just remember you saying maybe closer than what they were.
I don't remember what they were.
I don't either. I just remember that statement.
Yeah. So basically, I need you to tell me where you think you might want a window.
So you're telling me we're going to stand on top of this? This is really hard to envision that I'm not going to stand here at a countertop. My feet are going to be on top of something on top of this.
That C-channel is going to go on the bottom of this. That C-channel back there goes on the bottom of this, and then our decking will go on top of that.
So my feet will be
At that height.
3/4 of an inch higher than this.
Basically an inch.
So we need to measure off of this up what a standard countertop would be. And then from there, what a face-to-face, like I envision if I'm cooking, there's going to be a window I can see out of. Give or take, you're taller than me, but you know, it's not going to be way up here above my head, and it's not going to be way down here at the countertop, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like for my sake, need to visualize that. So I don't know the best way to do that. Is that doing some measurements and putting some tape?
I don't know. We kind of need to find a window.
I want to see where we're saying that we were saying the window would be, regardless of how big the window is.
Well,
Because if the window,
right there's your rivet holes. Right there's your rivet holes for that upright.
so to avoid the logo, it has to be all the way over here.
Yeah, that's not practical to stay out of that logo.
Decided that we should just take it to a body shop and pay $17,000 and have them redo it, and then we don't have to care about the logo. I don't know that it's $17,000.
Have them redo it? What do you mean, paint it?
Yeah, you're gonna ruin it all anyways. Not you, but I mean, the whole goal was to have it old, and I feel like it's just not gonna happen. It's just a bummer. I have to rework it in my brain. Because I don't know what it looks like to have a hole cut and it just say SP. Like, do you
Prime
leave
pools
that?
and spuh.
Yeah, do you just do you leave that? Is it still cool that it's like, oh, they left the old thing and like tried to keep it, but they added a window because they made it an RV?
I have
Or is
no
it like,
idea.
that looks stupid?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't.
It doesn't matter what everyone else thinks because there's always going to be somebody going, that's right.
I know, and it's
So
not
it matters what
necessarily-
you think, and I don't give a shit about what everybody else thinks.
That's what my brain says though. So you know how I am. So I need to visually see it. So if I can stand where I'm gonna stand and mark whatever a height is and is that the same as a house? I don't know.
It's going to be whatever we make it.
Okay, well then we should measure that out with whatever we kind of talked about in our drawing and see, like, I need to visually see, is it going to be here? Is it going to be here?
It's going to be wherever we put it.
I need you to just walk with me on this, and that's what I need to do. You asked for my answer, that's my answer. That's what I need to do.
The answer is that you don't have an answer.
I need to visually see it, because that's how my brain works.
Well, I can't really make progress then.
We can do it right now.
Do what right now?
Measure. I've gotten so used to being down here, it's hard for me to imagine standing up here. As funny as that is. I don't know why. Because I know this isn't the floor. Obviously, there's going to be a frame in here, but it's just wild to me that we're going to stand where my
Hip is.
almost hip is.
All right. Well, I guess we need to figure out what a countertop height is supposed to be and all that crap, and then go from there.
Yeah, we can do some quick recon on the internet and do that.
All right. Okay. Do you care to explain? Let me wipe you guys off. Do you care to explain the thoughts? Your thoughts and my listening.
I think I can understand. You say I talk in circles sometimes.
Do you want me to explain it?
No, I think I can explain it, and correct me if I'm wrong. So
You're wrong.
ultimately, we decided that function and practicality makes more sense than if the window is in the paint or the paint scheme, or it says funny words because we cut it off or whatever. So it is what it is. We have to have windows. So I think what we kind of decided based on our estimated measurements of what we had come up with in our sketches is we're going to go ahead and put an upright here, because basically this area is the countertop with a sink and some kind of cooktop or something. So we wanted it to be centered. Obviously that's a little off center, but standing here, this is with the countertop height from where the floor will be. Window kind of in this area. This upright's not going to affect that too much. It's not perfectly center on the counter, but
You're saying it wrong.
winder.
Winder.
My bad. Didn't break out my
Yeah.
hillbilly yet. So slightly off center from the entire section of countertop, but in a practical height that's not going to affect putting an upright where it needs to be. So, the other thing.
What's going
is-
after the countertop?
Yeah, so after the countertop, somewhere roughly in this vicinity will be a shower. So this is all gonna get somewhat, I don't know how it's gonna look, but we haven't figured all that out. But roughly in here is gonna be a shower,
32 inches.
32 inches. And then that puts this as just slightly smaller than a full-size bed.
Yeah.
We were hoping to put a full-size bed in here, but we're willing to accommodate maybe some interesting angles of one end versus the other.
Yeah. So, how about you film for a second, and I'll give the details.
Man,
The details are 4 foot of counter space. This is how I'm going to simplify this. 4 foot of counter space with a window. 32-inch shower that's shaped like a triangle so that it makes this corner easier to navigate. And then this end of the bed will be roughly 4 foot. That end of the bed will be a full-size, full bed, and it will be cut down and tapered. We're just going to buy one of them foam mattresses and take the old turkey knife and cut her down. So, and then this side will be a couch. We're leaning towards the style, if you've ever seen a tow and haul couch that goes in the back of those RVs that folds up flat to the wall. We're thinking about doing that in this area. That will make it into a bed and a couch, and then if we don't want it and we're just in here cooking or whatever, it'll fold up basically flat to the wall and be out of the way and get more floor space. Because you almost, in our other van that we've had and we've traveled all the way across the country and stuff in, you get claustrophobic and everybody's in everybody's face, and it makes it a lot more less enjoyable. So that's what we're going for. Plus, I've said it a million times already, we're scooting the driver's seats further forward than what they were originally.
Yeah.
So
the other thing was, and I think it depends on the couch situation that we do, because we've went back and forth from having like a standard camper style benches and a table and not and different things. But the space that's between the end of whatever that couch situation is to the bed is going to be where the fridge goes and some cabinets and drawers.
I forgot about the fridge.
Some kind of cabinet fridge drawer system below it for storage.
One option we have if we end up with a short fridge is we can make our bed a higher platform, and that fridge can actually recess under the bed a little bit.
Yeah.
So if it needs to be like in this vicinity and swing this way, that's an option, and then have a mild set of stairs there to get in bed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, those are the things maybe we can tweak as we go, but we know that'll be the general vicinity of storage / fridge stuff. Yeah. But it all that really, the measurements on that are dependent on where we do or what we do with the couch. But we'd love to have a second bed option for different reasons. Right now it's for Austin and whatever in the future. So
I guess we'll put a kickstand in.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that here.
And then we can hang cross members
to stabilize it, I think. And then I like your idea of eventually putting a piece of tubing at the bottom of that and tying it in.
Yeah, this is going to be doubled up here. There's going to be another one here. I mentioned that earlier. I think I'm going to notch this cover and run a piece across here after we determine what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And that will strengthen this up. Because right now that's a huge weak point. That flimsy C-channel stuff up there is garbage. It's got giant holes cut in it over here. It's just, there's not a lot of strength there. So I want to add all that.
That looks great.
Yeah. That's where that's all wadded up and everything. I'm pretty sure this side of the van's been foobarred pretty hard before.
Yeah.
But we're getting her good enough.
So step 1 is a leg here.
A kickstand
for stability.
Out of some scrap, and then I can hang some cross members.
Can the maze of nonsense go away, or is that after we do cross members? I know we did it just high enough so you wouldn't hit your head, but it still makes me nervous.
This can definitely go after the floor's in.
Okay.
I'll probably keep that for now until it becomes an issue.
Okay.
Just because I want to add more and more until.
We can leave it off. It's not your way.
But I think after we get cross members in here, we might temporarily weld a bar across the door. Mm-hmm. That would add a ton of strength too. Yeah. Yeah, I could actually go ahead and do that. I could put a piece of scrap here, just low enough or high enough that we can get under it. But the next step then is setting it on the chassis and getting the chassis ready to go. it's amazing how something that took so long to do only took a couple minutes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's been months to get to this point, and it took 20 minutes to do. Well, I guess if you add in all the time I spent cutting and everything
Yeah, this was
earlier.
ready to go. You cut stuff earlier, but yeah.
Yeah.
Less than an hour probably. I guess I don't know how much time you spent cutting.
I have more than an hour just cutting metal.
Handling it, I guess.
Yeah, so.
But I'm pretty stoked about this.
Yeah.
It like really helps you see it.
Yeah, I felt like that was let me turn this around. I feel like that's something worth mentioning in any projects. It did not make sense for my brain is cooked. It does not make sense to put this floor in right now with everything else that still needs done with the body. I 100% realize that, but it gives you fuel.
Yeah.
It gives her fuel. It doesn't give me fuel. I'm on empty for a long time. But it gives her motivation to keep going when you're approaching burnout. It is nice to check off that one little thing that relights that fire, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So that was kind of this for you, in my opinion, is you've seen months and months of work. I don't know how long we've been working on this, 2 months, whatever.
It's been a good month of not a lot of progress because we had to figure out we needed to do something, then how we're going to do it.
Yeah, it's progress, but it doesn't look like anything. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons it's took us so long to get this video out. This is 3 weeks worth of work in this one video because it doesn't look like anything has happened.
Yeah.
It literally looks like I knocked some stuff out and welded in some more C-channel. And I didn't want the video to look like that, but and that's why we didn't get last videos. This was supposed to be last week's video. It didn't happen. We put up a short video from our vacation on Hot Rod Power Tour. It's just a 20-minute video. You guys should go check that out. Good lunchtime video, whatever. I don't care. Put it on mute and throw it in the passenger seat on your drive home. I don't care. But that video flopped for some reason. I thought it would get a few views. I knew it wouldn't be great, but if you guys could check that out, we'd greatly appreciate it. But I think we're going to call it a wrap on this video, finally. As of right now, the plan next week is to be on Austin's truck and get some things knocked out on it. But
what's the next step with this then?
Rest.
Well, obviously, but
I don't know. Really, I need to finish the body.
Finish the fender wells.
Yeah.
So no, I asked the question about how you connect the back piece to this, not understanding about the fender wells. So you made that pretty clear that there's going to be a perpendicular piece to this, basically.
Yeah. Something else I'll throw in there too is when we put these C-channel floor braces in, I put them this way so that when we're going down the road, they're not cupping road debris and catching it and it is sitting in there and rotting those out. So that was one of the reasons we put it that way. It'll make that one there in front of the tires, we probably should have turned it around. That would have made it easier to tie the rest of the floor in, but it ain't going to be a big deal. We'll make it happen. So appreciate you guys watching. We're going to call it a wrap on this one, and we will catch you guys on the next one.